Good morning, students. I welcome you all in today's class. Today we will be continuing with Unit 6 Fundamentals of Computer, and the subtopic for today's class will be Digital Technology and Media Devices. There will be a worksheet, as we have been doing since long about this, that before starting a topic we are doing a worksheet related to the previous topic that we have discussed. So same thing is here. Firstly we'll do the worksheet, I'll discuss the worksheet and then we'll go to the topic. Okay, so this is your worksheet 5 and do mention date over here. So worksheet 5 is about an activity. First, perform this activity and you need to write the observation in your notebook. There is just one activity: search for the required information on the World Wide Web using a search engine. Any information, that is up to you. You can take any topic and just usage of www should be there using any search engine, and just write your observation in that. Okay, so next question is you need to write whether these statements are true or false. These are the statements: World Wide Web is a part of the internet or not. Internet Explorer is a web server. IP address is also known as URL. You can open only a single website, one window of a web browser. You can save a web page on your computer. A portal is not a website. A reliable website includes content by authors without credentials. And last is search engines are web browsers with special technology. These are some true false that you have to do. Next question is this is your MCQs. I'll just read it out for you. Computer system has a unit which displays the results from it. Central processing unit, memory unit, input unit or output unit. You just have to tick the correct answer. Next, a computer system can accept textual input with the help of mouse, video camera, keyboard or barcode reader. Third question, we can enter the audio form of data into a computer system with the help of mic, scanner, keyboard or barcode reader. Next, one of the internet service provider in India: CBSE, BSNL, Microsoft or Infosys. Fifth question, files can be organized in printer, keyboard, folder or mouse. Sixth, which of the following combination of keys are used for copying a particular file in a folder? Control V, Control X, Control C or Control A. Seventh, which of the following is not an internet browser? Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox or Notepad. Next, identify a valid email ID out of the following. We have discussed this. What is the valid email ID? What all things should be there? So these four options are there. You have to choose one. What is the correct one? Last, which of the following can be used for audio video communication, video conferencing, chat, email or IP telephony? You need to tell me the correct answer. These are your MCQs, and your last question is fill in the blanks. Computer system has a unit which displays dash. A computer system can accept textual input with the help of dash can help us enter the audio form of data into a computer system. Dash has all the emails which were received on an email ID. Dash helps in searching for information from the internet. Printer is an dash device. Dash is the combination of keys which selects the entire content within a folder. Next, we should use dash names for files, folders, and last, dash provides dedicated connectivity with internet service providers server. So this is all about your worksheet. Now let's talk about digital technology and media devices. In this, we will be discussing about three core topics: digital audio, digital video, and digital photography. Under these three options, we will be discussing basic scenarios in it. So first, I'll tell you some of the devices over here. What exactly is digital technology? So nowadays, the functions of telephones, cameras, video recorders, media players, and internet devices are being merged with a single portable device. I hope you all know what is portable, that you can carry, right? So this is the table. It basically describes how merging technologies affect some commonly used digital devices and their features. If these digital devices get merged with our technology, then how these all work, we will be discussing that in this particular table. Okay, so let's talk about first audio and video players. So you all know MPEG audio layer, MP3 players are there, so CD players are there, DVD players are there. These all are the examples of audio video players. You can use MP3 players to play audio, whereas CD players and DVDs are used to play audio and video both. If you have multi-purpose CD players or DVD players, you can use them to play audio, video, or any MP3 files also. What is MP3 basically? MP3 is a format that helps reduce the size of the files dramatically while having a small impact on quality. Quality will not be deteriorated, it will remain intact. Just a bit of change will be there, but it will reduce the size for you so that you can have larger space on your computer. So it is very helpful, and you can transfer MP3 files from a computer to an MP3 player also. That is also possible. Okay, so this is all about your audio and video players. Next we have mobile phones. You all are familiar with it. In fact, you all are using it quite frequently nowadays for your classes, virtual classes. Okay, so what exactly do it? You all know it's a wireless device that has the capability of like traditional wired phone. It allows you to make a call from any location. You can use a web enabled mobile phone. Almost every mobile phones nowadays are web enabled, because you can connect to the internet, you can check your email messages, you can download songs, games from the internet. Everything is possible, right? So if you have a mobile phone that has camera and multimedia features, you can take pictures, record short video clips, and play music and games, right? And you can transmit pictures and videos from one mobile phone to another, or to another person by using email. That is also possible, right? So this is how mobile phones have been used, as they have been merged with technology, right? Next is your video game systems. You must have heard about Xbox. It's quite familiar, right? It is the most common example of a video game system. It is more of like similar to your personal computer only. Okay, an Xbox, it has a motherboard and a hard disk that supports online gaming. You play games on an Xbox by using an Xbox game disk. You can also transfer audio files from audio CDs to the hard drive of an Xbox. Therefore, you can use an Xbox as an audio player also. That is also possible. You can also play movie DVDs by using the latest Xbox system. Nowadays, you can watch movies also on Xbox. Okay. Next, we have PDAs, that is personal digital assistants. A PDA is a handheld computer. It is used for your personal organizer. A traditional PDA has features like your task list. You can maintain that. You can have address book, you can have calculator, and you can connect your PDA to a computer to transfer information also. If you have a web enabled PDA, you can connect it to the internet, you can send and receive email messages, you can play multimedia files over the internet. And some common PDAs also contain built-in digital camera also. So a smartphone is a mobile phone that provides the functions of a PDA in a phone itself. Smartphone is like PDA only nowadays, because whatever things I've told you, whatever features I've told you about PDA, more or less everything is there in your smartphone nowadays. So you can use a smartphone to access the internet, to play games, to take pictures and listen to songs, watch movies. Everything is possible on it, right? So these are some devices. There are more. Let's talk about them also. Digital camera. So what exactly digital camera do? It stores your digital images on a memory device, such as your flash memory card or a mini hard disk. Anything is possible. Whereas your traditional camera stores images on film. Some digital cameras allow you to print images also by connecting your digital camera directly to a digital printer. You can take out printout also of your images. That is also possible, right? Now, next, your last device is digital video cameras. You can use a digital video camera to record video and store it in a digital format. Uh, there are digital camcorders and webcams. These are the examples of digital video cameras. So you can use a digital camcorder to record both video and audio and store it in a digital format on a storage device such as your CD, and CD should be recordable CD, okay, or DVD. And by webcam, it is also a digital video camera, and it captures images and transmits the images across the internet. The images are transferred either continuously or at regular intervals of time. Webcams can be connected to a computer or they can be wireless also. Okay, so these are some of the devices, some regular devices that we use, but how they have been changed by merging them with the technology, how they have been used nowadays. This discussion was all about that. Okay, so next we will talk about digital audio first. In this session we will be discussing solely about digital audio. In next section we will be talking about digital video and digital photography. Okay, so let's start with digital audio first. Audio is of two types, right? Analog and digital. There are two types of audios. So when you speak, when you are speaking, the sound you create is in the analog or wave format. Okay, the sound that you hear is also in analog format. Computers are basically digital devices, you all agree with it? Therefore, it is necessary to convert audio from the analog format to the digital format before using it on a computer. Okay, because computer understands only digital devices, so that's why you have to convert audio file that is analog into a digital format while using it with the computer. Okay, next, so how you can do that? Digital audio technology is there. It allows you to record, edit and play digital audio files on a computer. This technology will help you out for the conversion. Okay, so digital audio technology also lets you communicate with the computer by just speaking. You are just saying something and the computer is understanding it. That feature is also there. We'll discuss about that in brief in this session only later on. Okay, so this session is all about digital audio technology, and we will be talking about the copying and converting digital audio also in this. Okay, so first is your characteristics of digital audio. Let's talk about that. One of the important characteristics of digital audio is that it can be compressed. Audio files are generally large. Compressed audio files save space, allow portability, and are easier to transfer over the internet. If the file will be large, it will take more time to get it transferred or to get it uploaded on internet. If the file has less size, then it will take less time. So that's why it is always preferable to compress your files. Not only audio files, I'll suggest to compress any file whatever you are using. It's a good practice. Okay, so let's talk about this. So as I said, it compressed audio file saves space, it allows the portability, and it is easier to transfer over the internet. When you compress audio files, the quality of the audio file is generally affected, not always but sometimes, and not at very high rate. It's very negligible quality that is affected, so it's fine to compress your files. Okay. Another important characteristic of digital audio is that it can be edited on a computer by using audio editing software. For example, you can use this software to move sections within an audio file or add effects. You can also use audio editing software to store an audio file in different formats on the computer. Right? We will be talking about the formats later on. Let's talk about the last characteristic first, that is digital audio also allows streaming of digital audio files. With audio streaming, you do not have to wait to completely download a large audio file from the internet to play it. Instead, you can use a streaming audio player or a browser add-in to play the audio file from the internet. In this case, the audio file is sent to your computer in a continuous stream, right? That is also possible. Okay, so now let's talk about, there are a number of audio file formats that different programs use for different purposes. So some of the common formats that you need to be familiar with are, these are some of the formats: WAV, MP3 and WMA. WAV stands for wave. So this format is part of a series of standards for audio and video developed for Microsoft Windows 95. It's that old. As a universal sound file format, it was termed like that, universal file format. It is used to store audio files in the wave audio format. Audio files stored in this format have good audio quality, but this format is used sparingly these days. We hardly use it. This is because the audio files in this format are larger when compared with other formats. The space is more. If the audio file is of WAV format, then the space is more in compared with other formats. Okay, so now let's talk about MP3, MPEG audio layer 3. This format was developed by Motion Picture Expert Group to allow compression of audio and video for digital distribution. The MP3 format is a popular format that is used to store digital audio files. This is because MP3 files are generally smaller than your WAV files, WAV files. And this is the most commonly used audio format. Okay, and last is your WMA. This format was developed by Microsoft and is used to store digital audio files. Quite simple. Okay, so this was all about your different kinds of formats. Now let's talk about copying and converting digital audio. How you can do that. Digital recording is the technique of recording and storing audio files in a digital format. You can then copy the stored audio files to storage devices such as your recordable CDs and DVDs in various formats, such as the format can be WAV and MP3. You can also convert audio from a CD or a DVD to a different format because it helps you to look after the size also. And one more thing, before this conversion starts, you have to store that particular file in your hard disk, computer hard disk. Okay, that is very important. Now let's talk about how to copy audio and how to convert audio. Copying audio, I'll zoom in for you. So you can copy your audio files from your storage devices such as your hard disk and store it in any CD or DVD, recordable CD. This process of copying audio and storing it on a recordable CD or DVD is termed as burning. You must have heard about it, CD burn. We use this term quite frequently, that is copying your data into a CD. Okay, so you need a special hardware device such as a CD writer or a DVD writer for burning. A CD writer allows you to burn only recordable CDs, whereas most DVD writers allow you to burn recordable CDs and DVDs both. Okay, along with hardware, you also need software to copy audio to a recordable CD or DVD. You can use the software to create different types of CDs. You can create data CDs, audio CDs, and mixed mode CDs. Okay, mixed mode CDs contain audio, video, and data files, everything. Data CDs are something that is only that you can see, read. Audio CDs you can hear, and mixed mode CDs can have audio, video, data files, everything. Okay, for example, you can create an audio CD and add video files and text files to it to create a mixed mode CD. These are the different types of CDs. Copying audio directly from the internet and storing it on recordable CDs is illegal. It is also illegal to copy music from CDs and DVDs. Ensure that you have permission before you copy any kind of material from internet, because copyrighted things are there and copyright rules are very important. You have to obey them. Okay, so next let's talk about converting audio. You can convert it also into different formats. So you can convert audio from your CD or a DVD to a different format before storing it on a computer's hard disk. For example, you can convert your favorite song from a CD to an MP3 file before storing it on the computer. So you must have audio conversion software such as your Microsoft Windows Media Player 11 installed on your computer to convert audio files. Okay, the software changes the format of the audio, and sometimes it also compress the audio files, that is reduction of size, so that the files take up less space on the hard disk. Some softwares do that also. You can then transfer these audio files from the computer to a digital device. It can be a PDA, it can be a mobile phone, or it can be MP3 player. So converting audio from CDs and DVDs to a different format is illegal. Again, ensure that you have permission to convert audio to a different format before converting it. Okay, and this illegal I'm talking about only in terms of internet. If it is there in your computer only, then it's fine because that is your material. This illegal part is termed only for internet. Okay, now let's talk about our next topic in this digital audio only, that is speech recognition and synthesis. Digital audio technology allows you to interact with the computer by just speaking. You can interact with your computer with your voice. This helps improve productivity and empowers challenged users to expand their ability to use computers. So these are the two speech technologies that we have: speech synthesis and speech recognition. Let's talk about them. Speech synthesis is, imagine a scenario. There is a person named Eric. Eric has finished writing his short story. Eric wants to read the short story once before sending it to the publisher, but he's tired. Therefore, he decides to use the speech synthesis feature, also referred to as the text to speech feature in Microsoft Windows Vista, to listen to the short story. That is possible. This is called speech synthesis. So, it is a technology that allows the computer to speak to you by converting text to digital audio. Okay, Windows Vista has a built-in screen reader called Narrator that supports speech synthesis. A screen reader is a program that reads the text on the computer screen aloud. To support speech synthesis, your computer must be equipped with a sound card and speakers. You can configure the text to speech feature in Windows Vista by using the ease of access link in control panel. You know where is control panel? Just go to ease of access link and you can easily get this speech feature in your device. Okay, next is your speech recognition. Imagine again a scenario. Eric is using Microsoft Office Word 2007 to write a short story. However, his typing speed is slow and it takes him a long time to complete the story. To solve this problem, Eric's friend advises him to use the speech recognition feature of Windows Vista. So, speech recognition is a technology that allows you to communicate with a computer by using only your voice to enter text and to issue commands. By your voice, you are talking to the computer. To enable speech recognition, you need an audio input device such as a microphone, a sound card, and speech recognition software that converts human speech into text or commands that a computer understands. You can use speech recognition technology to interact with various programs also. For example, you can use it to browse the internet or enter text in documents. No need to type, just say it and the computer will understand it. The speech recognition feature is readily available in operating systems such as Windows Vista. You can configure the speech recognition feature in Windows Vista by using the same link, that is ease of access link, available in control panel. Okay, so this was all about your speech features, very useful that you can use. So we are done with digital audio topic. In next class we will be continuing with the same thing, digital technology only, and two subtopics will be your digital video and digital photography. Thank you all for now.